I've been on this rant for the last several years about the importance of sleep and keeping a regular sleep schedule
I don't
and
think
telling
you can
people,
call it a rant after 2 years.
well, it depends on if you're one of my
Your
friends and had to listen
shtick,
to it.
your
If you,
thing, your
if you,
your brand.
I'm Michael,
I'm Chris.
and we're Breaking Impossible.
You look like you're not in Seattle.
I'm not in Seattle. I'm in Hong Kong again.
That's awesome. You must
Yeah.
be there for our big brass ring, the challenge.
Yes, the Hong Kong Four Trails Ultra Challenge.
That's amazing. I envy you to the core of my bones to be able to get over there so regularly, just to be there, of course, but also to volunteer and to get to see the runners and meet people and all of that. You're so good at it also. So
Are you in Sweden right now, or are you in
I
another
am.
European country?
Nope, still in Stockholm right now. This thing here is from my latest little video art project and the solstice. You know how I love sundials.
Yes.
This church dates back to the 1300s. It's like one of the oldest buildings in Stockholm. It was built by Franciscan monks.
I like it.
And this is the sun at solstice. So anybody who's interested can see the video. And the
Nice.
project that I'm working on is then at the equinox to do it again, and at the solstice to do it again, because the steeple winds up as this huge sundial that sweeps the entire plaza. It's very cool in a time lapse, so you can get a sense of the length of the day or not, as it is at this time of year.
Well, my background is a view of Hong Kong from the Maclehose Trail. One of my, I guess it's still my nemesis. I have a love-hate relationship with the Maclehose Trail. But anyway, I've been in Hong Kong for 3 weeks, and I'm still getting used to the time difference and the tropical sun. And you mentioned Four Trails. I had a chance to see the new movie about the Hong Kong Four Trails Ultra Challenge called Four Trails, about the 10th anniversary event. And I've written a preview about it and also a reflections blog post, which I'll put in the show notes down below so people can click on it and take a look.
Cool.
So we were talking about biological age and stress in our last video, and I mentioned that I'd been taking these supplements, and I listed them out, and I said I might do an experiment where I stop taking the supplements and see what that does to the age test that I had gotten. So I should report the results of my most recent 2 tests prior to stopping taking the supplements. Previously, my best result was a 4-year and 7-month difference between my biological age and my chronological age. It got worse because of stress, and then I started working on the stress, and it got a little bit better. But anyway, last August, with the techniques that I've been using to try to manage my stress, taking the supplements, the sleep, the exercise, all the other things that we talk about that we've been doing, I managed to improve my score to a 5-year and 10-month difference.
Neat.
So it got better. The supposedly 5 years younger, almost 6 years younger than my biological age. That was in August. In November, I took the test again, and it dropped back down to 2 years and 10 months. So it's still doing this thing. I'm still on a roller coaster a little bit. But before I came to Hong Kong 3 weeks ago, I made the decision that I was going to do this experiment that I talked about, where I'm not going to take the supplements for a period of time. So I put my subscription on hold, and I haven't been taking the supplements. I've been in Hong Kong for 3 weeks. I've been doing the exercise, and I've been trying to eat fruits and vegetables and get plenty of sleep, do all the natural things, but I haven't been taking any of the supplements. So we'll see what the results of my next biological age test are with
When will
supplements.
your next test be?
Be in March sometime, because it won't be till I get back to the States.
Interesting. So you won't take the
Yeah,
supplements probably until April, right? Because you'll need a few weeks to
correct.
get back on your sleep
Correct.
cycle and to reacclimate back home. And
Correct.
okay. Well, so it'll
Correct.
be like a 4 month off. Okay, that's interesting. Huh. Study
Yeah.
sample of one, but that's interesting.
Yeah. And it's one of the things that we talk about, people like David Sinclair and Brian Johnson, the scientist and the influencer. that are both trying to slow down aging, um, one collectively and one individually. But they're also experimenting on themselves, and they're the N of one, just like you and I are. And I think it's interesting when they do that. So yeah, I'm going to try almost an entire quarter off. And the reason I'm doing it that way is because it takes time. When you start taking the supplements, it takes time before the result of having taken them shows up. And the same thing when you stop.
Sure.
So it can't just be for a couple of weeks. It's got to be for a few months.
Sure. Makes sense.
And the reason I decided to do this was because last year when I was here, I was staying on Llama Island, and I was getting out every single day out on the trails and in the sun. And I felt great. And I probably felt great because I was getting sun, where, I'd left Seattle during the winter like I'm doing now. Partly felt great because essentially I'm on vacation.
Llama's a place unto itself. It's awesome.
It is an amazing and interesting place. But when I took the test, when I had my previous best score of 4 years and 7 months, I was still working at a place that afforded me the opportunity to get up and walk a lot, including up and down several flights of stairs. And even though I was eating out frequently because of the nature of my job, I was eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. So I was doing more of those things that you're supposed to do that have that positive effect. All right.
So you were talking about your doctors, or well, the doctors talking about lifespan and health span and biological age and agey age.
Yeah. So I'm going to put the link on our website about one of the more recent studies, Leonard Guarente and David Sinclair, about human trials exploring anti-aging medicines. I think it's a good summary of some of the different products that are in development, and talks about worms to mice to humans. We've talked about we're not mice. Humans are a lot more complex organisms. They talk about metformin and the NAD precursors and GLP-1 antagonists and rapamycin. It's a good summary. And the other thing I wanted to mention was that I'd seen the new documentary on Netflix about Brian Johnson, the Do Not Age guy. And I thought it was kind of boring, typical reality TV show type stuff. He's done some controversial
science.
Well, all these guys that we talk about have their own companies and their own products that they're promoting. So you have to give everything a grain of salt. And some of the stuff that he's tried in the past, he doesn't do anymore, like the blood donor thing. He doesn't do that anymore. And they don't mention that he stopped doing it.
For those of us who have forgotten.
Okay. Well,
that's the blood donor thing.
They do this experiment with mice where they tie the mice together and they put their they share their circulatory system.
What?
They sew the mice together.
Oh my God. Okay.
So they're sharing
perfectly. You have no idea for me. Like, I'm ready. Go.
So they're sharing blood. Old mouse and a young mouse now sharing the same circulatory system. And what happens is the old mouse gets younger. Now they can't do that with people, obviously.
Well, they could. But Michael, I will not do that. I'm sorry.
So instead, what they do is people will get blood. They call them blood boys. Famously rumored different tech billionaires have tried this, including Brian Johnson. He was getting young plasma. And then he decided to do this thing where he had his son give him his plasma, and he gave his plasma to his own father. So they play that up in the documentary because it's one of the weird, bizarre things that he's done. What they don't tell you is he stopped doing it. His father did show benefits, but his own science says that he's not benefiting from it, and from getting it from his son. So anyway, he's done some.
What are the benefits? What benefits?
It supposedly lowers your biological age. So Brian Johnson doesn't do that anymore. There's other questionable things that he's tried that he doesn't do anymore. But here's the upshot from watching the documentary.
Oh my word.
He has kind of started a movement. If the best thing that happens is that he encourages people to go to bed early and eat their fruits and vegetables, that's a positive thing. Because he's promoting among other things among other things, that you should go to bed early and that you should eat lots of fruits and vegetables and more plant-based diet. Great. Those are positive things. I'm glad that people are following him and trying to do that. Whether or not you buy his extra virgin olive oil or his food supplements or whatever else, there's some benefit in having him out there. And I also find him kind of entertaining, but
I mean,
yeah.
wow. I think you know what I'm gonna say. Like, to what end? Like, these people are trying to extend their life. They don't know what to do with the life they have. Like, what are they going to do with an extended one? They're so lost. They're just so
Yeah.
lost.
Well, I mean, I'm at that point where I'd like to try to figure out how to be around a little bit longer and especially be healthier and have my wits about me. Those are the main things I'm concerned about. I'm a little bit less
Yeah.
concerned about my hair getting gray and my skin getting wrinkled, although I am being more conscientious about wearing sunscreen and careful about my sun exposure.
But let's keep talking on this topic for a second, because like I do think it's important for folks to understand that like we're very interested in health span, like
Yep.
the length of time. And there have been some interesting stories about how that really also has limits, and that age wise, no matter almost what, it's almost always up to your genes. That many centenarians and above are doing reaching that smoking, drinking, etc. And this isn't to discount the health benefits of not doing those things, but rather to point out the strength of the genes. More
Yeah.
interestingly, and for our efforts and our thing, is that those people who do get better sleep and take recovery and do exercise and eat more normally have healthier up until the end. And so you everyone so far has died. And so the question is, are you healthy up to that moment or not?
Right.
And our efforts are to remain as healthy as possible, as you say, with your wits about you and your abilities, as undeterred as possible. But like
Yeah. And the other thing I'm
but wait, I want to conclude there in that like that's a life well lived as a baseline. Like, you still need to be engaged with your society and engaged with your life and trying to make some meaning for yourself, your family, or your community, and everything else. Like, as you say, these people have their own companies and they're just profiting off of their sale of their supplements, the marketing of their documentaries and everything. I really do not have much respect for them as a whole. I just have to say that out loud for my own morals. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They just are so lost.
Well, there's another thing for me personally. I have in my family a history of Alzheimer's disease and diabetes and heart disease.
Who
So
doesn't in this day and age? Me too.
yeah, but
I'm
I'm just
older
saying
than my
because,
dad ever got, to tell you the honest fact.
well, there are various estimates about how much of it's genes and how much of it's not, and I still think that you have a lot of control, and I'm going to do what I can, right?
So
Um,
I would shift the attention. I do, not I would. I do shift the attention, right? Like, these things will have measurable benefits. As you say, we'll keep our wits longer, we'll keep our activities longer, we'll do all the rest. But for me, it's about the living of the life. I'm not running for that. I'm running to be in the world, right?
right,
I'm studying Kung Fu to perfect an art, if I ever
right,
could.
right,
I take photographs and make video art because it's meaningful. I
right,
hope people enjoy it. Please
right.
enjoy it. But but seriously,
I enjoy it. And
like
actually,
I
on
watch
that
these
note,
documentaries and I see people like you who should be a fan saying it's boring. Like, guess what?
yeah,
Fail. That's terrible.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
promotional schlock piece of stuff. They're so lost. They're so
I
lost.
I think they really missed the mark on it. And on that note about you creating video art and doing things that are meaningful, we have new posts on our website, including your It's in the Signs series.
Oh, thanks for mentioning it.
And I've got some on tech or not. It really should be high tech, low tech, or no tech. One of them is on free writing, which is low tech. So yeah, please check out our website. There's a preview of the new Four Trails movie. There's a review or a reflections blog post about the movie
Well,
after
and
having finally got a chance to see it.
I
And then
love
another.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt, but like I think it speaks volumes like among why we're so interested in the Hong Kong Forest Trails, right? Like first of all, it's super super hard, so why not? Why not have a huge brass ring to jump for? But also the rules have also attracted us for years, and they just keep getting harder. I saw a recent announcement, and now I can't remember what the restriction was, but it used to be no walking sticks, right? And then no music and headphones. And the recent one is no watches, I think. So like talk
Yeah,
about leaving tech behind. That's I
so
love Andre and his ethic here to make it harder because it's about the journey and facing the challenge. And I love that in fact that he calls it a challenge. This is just so awesome. Like this is
yeah,
meaningful. That's what I'm saying. Like this just makes it
yeah.
more meaningful for me.
Well, the thing about the watches isn't out there yet.
It is. I saw it on Facebook.
You did?
I did.
Oh,
That's why I
it's
mentioned it.
officially known. Well, okay. In that case, then you'll know that's the real reason I wrote the no watch, no phone blog post.
Yeah. Well, I just think that the relying on yourself to face the challenge is the ethos, and he's just slowly ramping that up. Oh, I forgot
So
the other
I
one. Run the trails backwards. I mean, not that you are running backwards, but
in
that
the
you
reverse
go the
direction. Yeah,
reverse
yeah.
direction of the guidance of the
So
signposts.
so the whole idea of not having a watch is kind of going in the same direction that you and I have been going about using tech less often or more judiciously, for lack of a better word. And so I decided I'd try going out on the trails for a day with no watch and no phone. So I had no GPS either.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And so therefore I was just in the moment. And I
Exactly.
had to figure out how to get there on my own. And it was all a very good experience. So please check out our website and please check out that post.
Yeah. I think, well, and talk about being in the moment. Like this goes back to our earlier part of the conversation, talking about recovery, like finding those small moments, even as you're in the middle of a huge challenge to recover.
Yeah.
That's really key. And it is possible. As long as you're not distracting yourself, which again, why I love the challenges and the ramping of the rules. It just brings more and more focus to that.
Yeah.
But I do fear for the future. Like at some point, it's going to be in blind on a blindfold, or blindfolded, or whatever. It's going to be actually running it backwards. It's going to be
Yeah. Don't say anything out loud that he might hear.
yeah. Okay. Ooh.
So remember to go outside, do hard things, and keep moving forward.
We'll see you out there breaking impossible.